So I got an interesting phone call the other day from a guy who was looking to buy a house. And after chatting with the gentleman for a short period of time, he made a comment to me that I thought was so interesting it was worthy of making a YouTube video about. The comment was that he wanted to buy the home on his own without the help of a real estate professional. Now, I had to wrap my head around that a little bit, and it was a little hard to understand about why somebody would want to buy a home without the help of a real estate professional. You know, maybe he didn't quite understand exactly what a real estate professional did. Many times we have people who think they might save some money by working with the listing agent, which in British Columbia, as you may or may not know, is a little bit of a challenging scenario. We'll get into that a little bit later. The thing that really struck me though as odd is why someone would want to make such a life-changing, incredibly enormous decision without the help of a professional. My wife Sarah and I started thinking a little bit about what other professions out there exist that, yeah, sure, you might be able to do it on your own, but you likely should get the help of a professional. We're going to give you that list right now of some jobs that we think you should probably hire a professional for rather than try and do it yourself. Starting with number one, a surgeon. Please do not try and do surgery on yourself. That's a bad idea. Lawyer is another one. If somebody is suing you, do not go to court without a lawyer, okay? This one was one of my favorites, came up by my wife who is in the dental or orthodontic world. Dentist. Please don't try and do your teeth on your own. Some of those tools are really, really sharp, so be careful. You probably shouldn't try and build a house on your own unless you've got knowledge of how to do that. Don't try and put a roof on your house unless you have an idea of what you're doing. That's not a good idea either. You probably shouldn't try to be the president of a country if you have no idea what you're doing. I probably wouldn't try and build my own boat and then go to sea. I don't think you'd go skydiving without a professional. Or you probably wouldn't fly a plane unless you knew what you were doing. And I guess the last one I can think of is space exploration. If you're someone that really needs to do space exploration, you're probably gonna hire somebody who knows what they're doing. Okay, so I think you get my point. It's a pretty big deal, some of the jobs that are out there, and having the right professional help you do them. And real estate is certainly no different. When someone buys a home, they're probably making the single biggest investment of their lives, and it probably makes sense to try and get it right the first time. So often we see in the news or the newspaper of would-be home buyers who tried to go it on their own and had a horrendous misstep, and it's gonna cost them a bunch of money, unfortunately. You might know what a realtor does, but you also might not know what a realtor does. So this goes into things like helping you choose the best mortgage product that's right for you, which can save you thousands of dollars. Helping you discover, locate, or identify hazards or issues in a home that are gonna cost you a bunch of money. This could come anywhere from issues with the title of the property, things going on in the house that even the seller may not know that are happening, bylaw infractions, city infractions, and generally, maybe the house isn't even built that well to begin with. You're gonna get advice from a realtor on what should be in a contract of purchase and sale, so you are completely protected from making a bad decision. All homes are different. All detached homes are different. All stratas like townhomes and condos are different, and they all have their different problems. Anybody going out there and thinking every home and every situation is the same is just plain wrong. Buying a home isn't quite as simple as something like cutting your hair. Now, I don't suggest cutting your own hair because as we learned in the pandemic, most of us are not good at that. But when it comes to something that is so financially enormous as buying a home, being in a lawsuit, learning where to invest your money so you get a return, or something that's so life-altering or an activity that is there to preserve your life, like being a surgeon, helping people through surgery, it certainly makes sense to me that you would want to get a professional to do that for you. Now, to finish off my story, I wish this gentleman best of luck. I explained to him the benefits of having a professional involved in the purchase of his property. Whether that was a real estate professional other than myself to help him, or at least, at the very least, a lawyer who could look over the agreement and help them avoid certain things that may cost them thousands of dollars in the end. I'm curious if these guys are going to get a realtor or the help that they should before they make that decision, but certainly that's up to them. One other thing I thought was interesting is our regulator has made a lot of changes over the years. Our regulator is called the British Columbia Financial Services Authority. They just changed over that from the Real Estate Council of British Columbia recently. And there's a form as realtors that we are required to give to would-be home buyers or really anyone that we are not offering agency services to. You see, in British Columbia, a realtor cannot represent two parties in a transaction, the buyer and the seller. They have something called a fiduciary duty or to do things in the best interest of for one particular party in a transaction, meaning the other party either goes it alone or brings in their own representation. Back before the change where the Real Estate Council of British Columbia became BCFSA, they came up with two forms. One of them was to outline the duties of a realtor and what they have to a member of the public upon engaging in real estate services with them. But the second one was quite interesting. The second one was for a consumer who understood the roles and responsibilities of the particular realtor they were working with, or who they thought they were working with, or better said, who was giving them services. However, if that realtor was not providing something called agency or that fiduciary duty to that person, there's a second document. The second document clearly outlines that consumer is at high risk. That consumer should consider getting legal representation or engaging the services of their own realtor. They are putting a lot at risk and have a large chance of making a mistake. So to wrap this up, whether it be space exploration, doing surgery, doing your own dental work, or buying your own home, you always, always, always want to get professional help. I hope that helps. See you guys next time.